Hi everybody, this is Dee Reinhardt with Illinois WorkNet. I am going to get rolling here because we've got a lot of information to cover today. There's a whole lot of, Eric, you can't make me laugh like that. There's a whole lot of information that we have to go over. So if we have anybody from Alternative Schools Network, Angel of God Resources, Boys and Girls Club Freeport, Centers for New Horizons, Chicago Area Project, Community Unit School District 12, Employee Connections, Jewish Family, Child and Family Services, Leadership Development Institute, Leslie Bates, Phalanx, Public Image Partnership, Puerto Rican Cultural Center, St. Sabina, UCAN, Universal Family Connection, Westside Health Authority. If any of you guys are on the call, you need to make sure that your name says your name and your agency when you log in so that I can grab it out of the participants list. I see Matt's here from Alternative Schools Network, so I'll get him marked in. And if I didn't see your name, make sure that you type to me in the chat pod so that I can get that. Okay, first thing that we need to talk about today, after I get a sip of water, is if there are changes in your organization, we need to get you to the service locator so that you can update your primary contact for that organization. And I know that Albany Park Community Center just had a change in their main person. So I was hoping that they were on the call today so that I can show them exactly what they need to do. But everybody else, you need to pay attention to this as well. So when you're logged into Illinois WorkNet, the big Illinois WorkNet, you want to click on the drop-down arrow by the My Dashboard, and you want to go to the More Tools. And in the More Tools, that's the partner tools that to which you have access, and it's where you order the NOC and all those other kind of good things. Down here in the list is the Services Locator Administration. It takes a little bit of time for it to load because it is one of the first applications that we made here. So I've already got it open. And what you want to do is you want to go to your site and edit the information if there's a change in the people at your facility. So I know that there was one recently at Albany Park Community Center. So you would scroll down, take a look at the Albany Park Community Center, take a look at the information by clicking on the edit. And then in here, if you need to change the contact information to make a primary update for this organization. So for example, this person is Michael Matos, or Matos, however it's said. And he is considered the person that can order NOC tests. So you need to make sure that this primary contact stays up to date. And if somebody leaves and the information needs to be updated and you don't have access to make those updates, send me an email or send info@illinoisworknet.com information so that we can get the update made. Once you make the update in this service location administration area, then the NOC list is updated automatically. But if you need other people to be able to order NOCs, for example, Jay, I hope you don't mind, Jay had Jay from Project Oz had two people that he needed to be able to order NOC tests as well as himself. And so we had to add those people in the list. So right now, looking at Albany Park Community Center, they don't have any partners who can order NOC tests right now. So two things would need to happen. They would need to update the information on their partner location site, and then we need to make sure that that user or any additional partners have the ability to order NOC. So what I need for everybody to do, I need you to go to your Illinois Partner Tools and look at the NOC administration and see if you have the ability to order NOC tests. If you don't and you are the primary contact for your organization, then we need you to try to update the service location information that I showed you here. And if you're having a problem getting that accomplished, I need you to send me an email so that I can get it done for you. If you have additional people who need to be able to order NOC, who do not currently have the primary contact status on here, then you will also need to send me an email with their username, their name and the name of your organization, of how you're found for CYEP. Because we do have some of the organizations in from different grant programs, but we need to add you under CYEP. Eric, so Eric said his came up with a screen to request site activation, which means that we need to get you added to the list. So you might want to go to the Services Locator Administration and make sure that you've got a primary contact listed that is still with your organization. And then we can add you to this list for your organization if we need to. And we'll make sure, and it wouldn't be Albany Park, it would be for Homework Hangout. Okay. All right, and then Jessica says, okay, so Jessica, I think you told me you were with Lawrence Hall. I don't want to go all the way back up through all of the chats. Somebody needs to mute themselves. You would need to make sure that your information is listed in the site administration, Jessica, and make sure that you have a primary contact. If you are not the primary contact for your organization, then we would need to add you to the list for your organization. So email, first step is check your site administration, your site location administration, to see if you've got the right people listed. Second step is to get those people listed if they are not the proper people. Third step is send me an email if you can't get that done, if you're having problems getting that accomplished. And then whoever needs to be able to order NOC. Any questions about that? If you want to open up your microphone and ask me any questions. So Eric, I see Service Locator Administration, no results for your site. Let's take a look real quick since we've got a guinea pig, Eric. And let's take a look for Homework Hangout Club. And I should be able to just hit enter. But why did it come up in the search? Is there a different name for Homework Hangout? Let me check that one out, Eric, and I will.
Hey, Dee.
Yeah.
This is Matt from ASN. I actually find that point right there, that filtering, that search option is always problematic. I can never find agencies effectively at that point.
By looking, all right, so I'll make mention of that. So location name search does not work.
The only place I can find it, if I go to add new site, then the search will auto-populate with the agencies that are in there.
Okay, thanks, Matt. All right, so then my thought would be, if this is not working properly and I don't know when I can get that fixed, then you're probably going to have to just go back to the My Sites and change the view, the display for view. All right. And like I said, this is old and it's really slow. So we're, if you have any other issues with this, let me know and I will see what I can do with you individually. Okay. Moving on to the next piece is under the search. Now I'm in test right now. And in the search results, we have a couple of new things for the programs. This does not show up in general Illinois WorkNet groups, but if you are assigned to a program like CYEP, we have a new column that has the WorkNet ID filterable on here. So this is really nice for me, especially because we ask that you guys send us communication about customers with WorkNet ID. So now with the special programs, I am able to search by WorkNet ID and I can filter by WorkNet ID. So this is great for all of us. Now, we are going to be making a few changes, and I need your feedback on this. So if you are thinking about what would be useful for you in this first column, or in this first page, their WorkNet ID, their last name, their first name, who the provider is, although we know that it's since we know that it's your provider, your agency, do we need to know the application status and the application submit date? Or would it be better if you had something like career plan started with a yes or no? The worksite placement, yes or no? If it's checked, it's yes. The career case closure, yes or no? The enrollment, yes or no? So would check boxes for things like that, would those be useful for you guys?
Yes.
And it's okay, so what I want everybody to do is think about what you would like to see on this first page. And as long as it could be a checkbox or a date, I might be able to get a number of things on there. Jay, I'm not exactly sure how many I can add. So it is just one of those things that if we can make them fit, we can make them fit. Application status, if it goes away and we just have the application submit date, then we know if they don't have a date, we know that they didn't hit the submit button, but the application might have been started. Okay. So one of the things that you can do, and if you don't want to send me an email, is type it into the chat pod, because the chat comes to me once we're done with the webinar, and I can just do a little tally sheet from that. The suggestions were career plan started, application date, worksite placement, yes or no, case closed, yes or no, enrolled, yes or no, or if they were on the waiting list. So we could have like small initials for enrolled, waiting list, just have a key for that kind of thing. So if you want to take just a moment to type that into the chat pod. And Eric, I just typed the link to the partner tools into the chat pod. If there's anything else that you think you might want at a quick glance, that would be great. Now, the other piece that's really nice that they just made this update on, and I want to show you, is on the export list, we now have the ability for you to pick what you want in the list that you're going to export to Excel. So if you don't want their username, or if you do want their gender and their ethnicity and their highest level of education, you just check those boxes. You will have to get all of these 4 things. Maybe you don't need the email, or maybe you don't need their address right now. Maybe you need to know whether or not they finished their Employment 101, whether they did their NOC, and what their last case note was. You check all of those boxes, and then when you export, that information comes out without the other pieces. So this was based upon our last project that we worked on, because we were always getting these huge spreadsheets, and we didn't always need all of that information. So that's this is the new thing that we can do with the export. Does everybody like this? I do.
Yeah, I think that's really helpful.
Yeah, I thought so as well. Okay. Eric, I'm going to have to look at yours separately after we're done recording. All right. Okay, so now the next piece is for the career plan updates. So we want to go to a customer. So I've got this started already. We've got a customer here, Vasa Water, and I've got her, you would get to her by clicking on her name. Let me close another couple of these sheets. Under their career plan, once you have the overview in here, they made an update. Timmy, are you on a mic? Can you just ask me the question?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Our clients are showing that they're not eligible, even though we picked all the eligibility selections in Illinois WorkNet, and we were wondering why.
Okay, one of the things that's new for this year is you have to have a social security number on the eligibility review. And if they are male over the age of 18, you have to have their secret, what is it when they have to register for the draft?
The selected service number?
Selected service, thank you. Yes, you have to have that. So
yeah, we did have that, and we put in the social security number, and it still tells us that they're not eligible on the side. It's like a little.
Like right here, it says not eligible.
No, on the side where their contact information is.
Over
Where
here,
it has like the, yeah.
eligibility, not eligible. So one of the
Yeah.
things that happens is if these top pieces through the social security number are not marked appropriately, then they will not be able to be verified. And if they've got more than one of these pieces down here, like this particular customer, I had been expelled or suspended from school. You have to be able to verify each of these pieces and save it. Now, I had verified this customer as eligible earlier this morning for my demonstration that I was doing on a how to fix. And, oh, I don't have the, let me get the social in here. Save that. Then this should change this. So you're still seeing this not eligible here, like I am right now?
Yes.
All right.
Yep, even after selecting everything, it still says it.
Let me check into that. I can't check with my programmer. He's at a meeting this afternoon. So let me check with him tomorrow. And then I'll see if we can't get this fixed.
Okay, thank you.
The selective service number will not keep them from being eligible. If they just don't know it, then I don't want to tell you to make up a number, but make up a number. I'm not quite sure how you find a selective service number. I've never had to look for one before. So I don't know if there's a checklist or something somewhere.
Well, we go on the website. We've been doing it for years. It's sss.gov. And you put in their information and it'll give you, it'll let you know if they're registered or not. And if they're not, it'll allow you to register them. And then you'll get a printout with their selected service number.
Excellent. Thank you for that tip.
You're welcome.
All right. So now I will check into this about why they're not verified, but they should be. All right. So now once you're in their career plan, we have a new update here for this. And on here, we review their assessment. So you go through here and make sure that you've got all of this information entered. You add an assessment summary. This is based on a conversation that you're going to have with that customer. Then under the set goals, Tammy, a fax copy of a birth certificate depends on where it's getting faxed from. And if Nicole or Kristen are on the phone, I don't see Nicole and I don't see Kristen. That's a question that you're going to have to ask them because I can't tell you yes or no on that. That's a DHS decision. Okay, so when we have goal statements, this might be learn more English. And it might be a education training plan. And even though this is not part of what you guys are actually supposed to be doing because your overall goal is employment for this grant, but it needs to be a short-term goal because more people are requiring English speaking or at least bilingual. So on the goal, it's not started. Now, the new thing that we can do is right here where it says planned services. We can see what's planned for this goal. we can add services right here. It automatically takes us to the step 3. This is new and updated. So what we have here are goals. And what we do is we add a step. So we click on add step. We can type in a search term. So we've got improve English language skills, improve to an 8th grade level, take an assessment to identify which one do we want. So we just pick this add here, we've added it. Then when we are done with the add, we can click on the pencil to edit. We can select the goal to which it is associated, put a start date in, put a due date, and maybe it's going to be August 6th of 2020 that we have them doing. And weekly, they're going to spend 15 hours a week on that. And it's going to, under show more situations, what goals does this work toward? And it might be language barrier, or it might be limited education or training. So you can mark as many of these to which it applies. Is it WIOA funded or not? Is it started? Yes, because we have it as of yesterday. Or, sorry, as of today. And then update the customer service. Then what that does is it adds it to, you can add the service provider, you can update that customer service, who's going to actually be providing the service. Is there a dollar value associated? Maybe it's $15, and you can offer it at that price 20 times. So we save that. And is there a credential earned with it? We aren't offering credentials with this grant, but they might earn one anyway. And then when you go back to the build a plan, it will show you under the step. So steps for learn more English, we have the step listed here, start date. If we look at obtain permanent employment, I don't have any steps there. And if we look at obtain interviewing skills, I'd have a step there that's been started. So this is the change and the update to adding steps and services to a career plan. Does everybody like this change so far? Is it easier than looking through that big list that we had before? Yes, okay, we got one yes. All right, we got a bunch of yeses here. All right. All righty, dighty. Okay, so I'm going to, does anybody have any questions about any of these items that I've covered? Do you have any questions about the exporting the list, or do you have any questions about the career plan change? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back, because we do have a few minutes. I'm going to jump back to numbers, and let's take a look. Sorry, my phone's ringing. We're going to take a look here at the dashboard real quick. And
I'm just wondering, I'm still a little bit confused about how to handle the issue with the NOC.
with the NOC? All right, who just asked me that question?
Sorry, this is Leora from JCFS.
Okay, so for JCFS, you have to go to the site administration, the services location administration, and make sure that you are added into the, or added as a contact to the organization. If you're not the primary contact, then we just need to add you and whomever else needs to be added to the list to order NOC. I just need that information, and then we'll get you added to the list.
Okay. I think I was having that same issue where when I search for Jewish Child and Family Services on site administration, it doesn't come up.
Right. And so,
So then I should just email you.
so what we need to do is I need to have somebody fix that search function, and I won't be able to get at that until tomorrow. So the only other the only other thing that you can do is switch your search view to 200, and then probably get to the bottom of the page, go to next, until you find your organization in the list. And the organizations made the switch, but not everybody that was,
Give them.
not everybody that was associated with it made the switch to the list, because not everybody has a user associated with the actual list. So I've got Jewish Vocational Services. What's your organization name? Jewish Family. All right, so you're not, I don't see you listed in here. Oh, wait. No, that's not it.
I think we're under there as Jewish Vocational Services. I think that might be the confusion.
The one here in Skokie?
Yeah, I don't know. I might need to. I'm confused.
Yeah, I see. Okay, so there's one in Northbrook. Where are you located?
Yeah, those are all us. We rotate between the different locations.
All right.
So the Northbrook and Skokie would both apply to us.
All right. So then you'll have to check to see who's got rights to order NOC and which one you're actually going to order through.
Okay.
All right. And then while I'm here in this page, let me check and see if I see Homework Hangout on here. All right, Eric, I don't see Homework Hangout. So you'll have to make sure that you follow those directions to get your organization added. But before you do that, give me a day to get back in touch with our programmer before you add another one, Eric. I will send you a message, okay?
And could a check be made for Aunt Martha's Health and Wellness? It might be under Youth Services. I can't get to this service screen to look at the list. It doesn't populate for me.
All right. So let me. It takes it a long time. It takes a very long time. So if your internet service is very long or very slow. All right. So who Aunt Martha's, right?
Yes.
All right. So I gotta. Sorry, I'm probably making people dizzy here with my scrolling up and down. I see Aunt Martha's Great River Community Health Center in Toulon. And I see, right, are you the one in Park Forest?
Yes, I'm the 234.
Okay, so
Western Avenue.
Yeah, you're right here. So Aunt Martha's Youth Service Center Incorporated. You just have to click on this and see who the primary contact is.
Okay.
And then make those edits. And if you're having problems getting that edit made, then contact me as well.
Okay, I'll be sending you an email. Thank you.
All right. All right, so now I could be checking for everybody, but I don't want to take our time to do that. So I'm going to put my email address in there, and if you're having issues, then Eric, I don't know the answer to that. And Nicole or Kristen, are you on the call? I don't see either of them on the call right now. Let me copy this question and I'll get that sent off. Okay, all righty. Let's try to get to a couple of numbers. I want to all right, so now we talked about application started. So application started means that the customers worked on their application, but they didn't hit submit. If the customers in that row are current customers, and since there's only 5 in there, there's probably not many of you that actually have those customers in there. You need to make sure that they're working, you know, that you're working with those customers, that you get them back in and get them to submit. If they cannot submit, or if they're in this list right here that says started application and not completed within 5 days, you need to go mark the customer on the enrollment piece of their profile on the progress page as not eligible. If they do come back, they can finish their application and they can submit, and then you can change the application information. We've got some initial program eligibility not verified. We got 14 people in there, so that means that not many people are in this list from the agencies. But we do have 550 that are listed as older than 5 days that have not been verified. So does anybody have a question about how you can get them verified? We kind of went through that a little bit ago. Any questions about that? All right, I'm moving on. Partner contact not identified. I'm putting together little how to fix videos that I'll have posted on the channel, on the YouTube channel. So I'm going to hopefully get these uploaded today so that they're there for tomorrow. We've got not enrolled status for more than 5 days. Only 13 people, so that means that's a pretty low number. I'm more worried about some of these other numbers up here. And a lot of these numbers are probably from 2018 and 2019 numbers, not 2020. So if you can work on, if you filter and look by a program year, get a program year cleared out at a time, because those numbers need to be updated. So like we only have 166 in here from 2018, 172. So that means there's probably only a few per agency that are in this list, if there's any for your agency at all. Partner contact not identified. I'm not so worried about that one for the older years, but for this new year, I don't want to see any numbers in that list. You just need to add your contact person, and we do that from the overview page on their career, on their customer profile. We have 7 that are not enrolled. Go in and make those people not eligible if they're no longer there, or you might have to close their case by saying they're not working and they're not looking for employment. Okay? Any questions about these dashboard rows? I'm recording, so I don't want to go into the individual agencies so that we're not looking at numbers.
Really?
All right? Okay. I will for the next webinar on the 20th. I will break out these numbers and we'll talk about why you have those numbers there on the next webinar. So please go in and try to clean these up and make sure that you're not going to get called out on the webinar. All right. Did anybody from Angel of God show up to the webinar? Boys and Girls Club Freeport.
Okay.
Centers for New Horizons.
Don't get called out on the next one. That sounds like a threat.
You know, I can hear you talking. All right.
Going to hell for that.
JCFS is on the call. Centers for New Horizon, Chicago Area Project, Community Unit School District 12, Employee Connections. Did anybody show up? Employee Connections, okay. And Leadership Development Institute, Leslie Bates Davis, Phalanx, Public Image Partnership, Puerto Rican Cultural Center, St. Sabina, UCAN, Universal Family Connection, West Side Health Authority. All right. All right. I don't have anything else for you guys. Last chance to ask questions. If you've got anything going on that you need some direct attention, please send me an email so that I can help you individually. Try to look at the resources online first so that you have made the effort yourself. But if something just doesn't work for you, please send me an email. And I'm putting this in the chat pod. Again, I had just put it in. And that resource that we had was sss.gov. And remember to let me know what you think the columns need to be. And then on the show for the customer list, and check your service location and let me know about if you need people to order NOC. All right, that's it for today. Thanks. Have a great rest of your day.